Hello dear viewers, welcome once again to my new lecture. Today I am going to give lecture on price elasticity of supply. This is a very important chapter, in fact. In this chapter, at first I'll discuss different types of elasticity, then I'll show different shapes of the supply curve depending on this PS, and I'll show you how to calculate price elasticity of supply using the formula. Now, let me show you the presentation of today's lecture. All right, price elasticity of supply. When the price of good changes, the amount of supply will also change. However, the size of the change in supply is not likely to be the same for all products. Sometimes, small price change will result in large change in the quantity supplied for some goods, and for others, large price change results in smaller change in quantity supplied. That means there is a relationship between change in price and quantity supplied. Therefore, price elasticity of supply is the responsiveness of the supply of a good or service to a change in its market price. We can calculate the price elasticity of supply using this formula. So, price elasticity of supply (PES) in short is equal to percentage change in quantity supplied divided by percentage change in price. So, this is the formula of calculating price elasticity of supply. Using this formula, you can easily calculate price elasticity of supply and its value. Now, let me show you how to calculate price elasticity of supply. To make it easy, we can consider this example. At a price of $4, the quantity supplied of two products A and B is 20,000 units. When the price increases from $4 to $5, the quantity supplied of product A increases from 20,000 units to 20,500 units. And for the product B, quantity supplied increases from 20,000 to 40,000 units. So look at here, the change. For product A, it is increasing from 20,000 to 22,500, but for product B, it increases from 20,000 to 40,000 units. That means when price is 4, quantity supplied of product A is 20,000 and quantity supplied of product B is 20,000 units at the same price. All right. So when price is 4, quantity supplied for both the products same 20,000 units. But when price increases from 4 to 5, then quantity supplied of product also increases to 22,500 units. But for product B, it increases more, which is 40,000 units at higher price. In this case, percentage change in price for both the products is 25%. That means from price increase from 4 to 5, it is 25% increase in price. But for the product A, percentage change in quantity supplied is 12.5% in response to 25% increase in price. On the other hand, the percentage change in price quantity supplied for product B is 100%. That means this 25% increase in price led to 100% increase in quantity supplied of product B. Therefore, PES of product A equals to 12.5% divided by 25% equal to 0.5. On the other hand, it is 100% divided by 25% equals to 4 for product B. So here we are getting two different price elasticity of supply for product A and B. So depending on this value of elasticity, we can identify the types of price elasticity of supply. Okay, now let me explain the types of price elasticity of supply. There are normally 5 types of PES: elastic PES, inelastic PES, unitary elastic PES, perfectly elastic PES, and perfectly inelastic PES. Now let me explain at first elastic PES. When a change in price of a product results in a proportionately greater change in quantity supplied, it's called elastic PES. That means small change in price leads to a large change in quantity supplied for elastic PES. In this case, that means for elastic PES, percentage change in price is lesser than percentage change in quantity supplied and value of PES is greater than 1. As a result, the shape of the supply curve is upward sloping and it starts from the vertical axis. So this is all about the elastic PES. Now let us move to inelastic PES. When a change in price of a product results in a proportionately smaller change in quantity supplied is called inelastic PES. That means a large change in price leads to a small change in quantity supplied for inelastic PES, which shows that supply is less responsive to the change in price. In case of inelastic PES, percentage change in price is greater than percentage change in quantity supplied and value of PES is less than 1. And the supply curve of this, in this case, is upward sloping and it starts from the horizontal axis. All right. Now let me move to the elastic. Let me show the comparison between elastic and elastic supply. To make it easy, we are showing it together. Okay. Look at here. For there are two diagrams. Figure 1 and figure 2 in this diagram. So look at figure 1 at first. This is showing the inelastic supply curve. So this is the shape of the inelastic supply curve. All right, and this is the shape of the elastic supply curve. Now let me explain this inelastic supply curve. So for inelastic supply, here say we assume that our initial price is 80 and quantity supplied is 60. All right. If price increases from 80 to 86, in response to this change in price, supply will also increase, but increase in supplies from 60 to 64. So here it is clear that in this diagram, here percentage change in price is greater than percentage change in quantity supplied. So here percentage, after calculation, we get the percentage change in quantity prices 32.5%. Okay, here percentage change in quantity, percentage change in price is 32.5%. But in response to this increase in price, supply also increased, but the change in supply is only 6.6%. That means percentage change in price is greater than percentage change in quantity supplied. As a result, the value of elasticity is 0.2. So this 0.2 is less than 1. So this is inelastic supply. Okay, so here the value is 0.2, which is less than 1. So here supply is inelastic and the shape of the supply curve is upward sloping and starts from the horizontal axis. Okay, this is steep supply curve in fact. Now look at this diagram, elastic supply curve. Here say we are starting from price 80, initial price 80 and initial quantity supplied is 60 units. All right. So when price increases from 80 pound to 106 pound, in response to this change in price, supply increases more here from 60 units to 100 units. That means here percentage change in price is 32% as usual. From 80 to 106, the percentage change is 32.5%. But here increase in supply from 60 to 100, it is 66.6%. All right. So in this case, in response to 32.5% increase in price, quantity supplied increases from 66.67%. It is clear that here percentage change in price is lesser than percentage change in quantity supplied. Therefore, the value of elasticity is here 2, which is greater than 1. All right. So this is elastic supply curve. So elastic supply curve is starting from the vertical axis, and percentage change in price is lesser than percentage change in quantity supplied, and the value of elasticity is greater than 1. So this is the comparison between elastic and inelastic supply. Now let me move to perfectly elastic supply. All right. When the amount of supply is infinite at any given price is called perfectly elastic PES. That means Change in quantity supplied does not depend on price in this case. Suppliers may supply any amount at the given price. In this case, there is no change in price. Price will remain same, okay? And value of elasticity will be infinity or unidentified, and shape of the supply curve will be parallel to the horizontal axis. So this is our elastic supply curve. We showed these two together to compare it, okay? That's to make it easier and to compare between elastic and perfectly elastic supply. All right. So this we explained in the previous diagram also. Here also you can explain it by changing these figures. Here we are assuming that price is as usual. It is 80 and 80 pound initial price, and initial quantity supply 60 pound. But here price increased from 80 to 106 pound, and in response price in quantity supply increased 60 to 110 units. So value of elasticity is 2.56, which is greater than 1, so it is elastic supply. Now look at this diagram here. Again we are starting from the initial price 80, okay, 80 pound. At this price, say for example our supply quantity supplied is 60, okay, and later quantity supply increased from 60 to 100 units. There is no change in price. At the same price, quantity supplied could be 0, could be 60, could be 100, could be more, could be any amount, okay. That is why the supply curve is horizontal to the, sorry, parallel to the horizontal axis. All right. And here the value of elasticity is infinity. Since we are not getting the value of percentage change in price, so we cannot find out the value of percentage change in quantity. Percentage change in quantity supplied we can find out, but since we are not getting the percentage change in price, so we are not getting the value of PES. So value of PES will be infinity. Okay. So this is the comparison between perfectly elastic supply and elastic supply. Now let me move to the perfectly inelastic supply. Okay, see, perfectly inelastic supply is when the amount of quantity supplied is fixed and cannot be adjusted with the price is called perfectly inelastic PES. That means at any given price, quantity supplied will remain unchanged. In this case, there will be no change in quantity supplied, and the value of elasticity will be 0. Okay, so these are the conditions: no change in quantity supplied, and value of elasticity will be 0, and shape of the supply curve will be vertical. Now look at these two diagrams. So this is just to compare these two, inelastic supply and perfectly inelastic supply. We're showing these two diagrams together to make it easy, because sometimes students are getting confused and they forget the shape. So to make it easy, I showed here these two diagrams together. So this is in inelastic supply curve as usual. This we did also before. Here price initial price is 80 units and initial quantity supply 60 units, and price increased from 80 to 106. And in response this to change in price, quantity supplied also increased from 60 to 64. So price elasticity of supply is here 0.2, which is less than 1. That is why it is inelastic supply. Now come to this diagram. Here, when price was 80 pound, supply was 60 units, right? If price increases from 80 to 106 pound, still the supply is 60. If price increases again, still supply will be 60. Even if price falls and it becomes 0 also, then also supply is 60. So that is why in this case a supply curve is vertical. That means price change has no impact on the supply at all. Supply will remain same always at any given price. For this reason, the value of elasticity is 0. Okay. So your value of elasticity is 0 for perfectly inelastic supply. Now let me move to the unitary elastic supply. When a change in price will be matched by an identical change in the quantity supplied, that means for unitary elastic PES, the change in price of a product will result equal change in quantity supplied of that product. In that case, the percentage change in quantity supplied would be exactly same as the percentage change in price. and the value of PES will be exactly equal to 1, and shape of the supply curve will be upward sloping. And most importantly, in this case, supply curve will start from the origin. Okay, it will start from the origin. It is like a 45-degree line. Okay, so here let us assume that initial price is 2 and initial quantity supply is also 2. Now if price increases from 2 to 4, supply also increases from 2 to 4. So here increase in price or percentage change in price is 100%. In response to this 100% increase in price, quantity supplied also increased by 100%. That means percentage change in price is equal to percentage change in quantity demanded. As a result, the value of elasticity is 1. So it is unitary elastic supply. In this case, supply curve will be upward sloping, and will start from the origin. Be very, very careful while drawing this supply curve. Don't start it from the vertical axis or horizontal axis. Always it will start from the origin. Okay, students are making mistakes here. They start it from here or here. It will be wrong if you start from horizontal axis or vertical axis. You have to start it exactly from the origin. All right, now let me to the next topic. Okay, factors influencing the PES. So what are the factors that will influence the PES? Now let me explain this. There are many factors which will affect the price elasticity of supply. At first, factors of production. If producers have easy access to the factors of production, so we know that our factors of production are land, labor, capital, and raw materials, energy, machineries, etc. These are the factors of production. If these factors of productions are available, then they will be able to increase production when price increases. In that case, supply will be elastic and vice versa. Means if these factors of productions are not available and producers do not have easy access to these factors of production, then increase in price will not affect the supply of the product significantly. In that case, supply will be inelastic. So if it is available, if factors of productions are available and accessible, then supply will be elastic. And if it is not available and it is not accessible, then supply will be inelastic. On the other hand, if factors of production are mobile, which means that factors can be switched to other use easily, then supply will be elastic and vice versa. So factor mobility means when the producers can use the same factors of production to produce another good. It is called the factor mobility. So if factor mobility is there, that means if price of one good increases, immediately the producers can use the raw materials or factors of production to use that good. It is called the factor mobility. If there is factor mobility, then supply will be elastic. If there is no factor mobility, that means producers cannot use the same raw materials or same factors of production to use another good. It is called the factor immobility. Due to the factor immobility, supply will be inelastic. Now come to the next factor, availability of stocks. If the business can hold stocks of goods, then it will be possible to increase the supply if price increases. So supply will be elastic. It is possible to hold stocks of non-perishable goods. Therefore, these types of goods have elastic supply. In contrast, if it is impossible or expensive to hold stocks of goods, in that case, supply will be inelastic. The supply of some perishable goods, such as fruits, vegetables, will be inelastic as they cannot be stored for a long time. Okay. Next factor is spare capacity. If the producers have a spare capacity, they can increase their production immediately. Price increases. So with the spare capacity, it is possible to increase the production if price increases. In that case, supply will be elastic. That means spare capacity. If there is spare capacity, then supply will be elastic. In contrast, if farms are running at full production capacity, if price increases, then it is not possible to increase production at short notice. As a result, supply will be inelastic. Next factor of PES is time. In short run, supply is inelastic. This is because it is not possible to increase supply quickly by the farms due to the production limitations. However, in the long run, producers can adjust output since they get time. As a result, supply in the long run is more elastic. Two more important things we have to learn here, and always we have to keep in mind, goods in the secondary sector can be produced quickly, so they are likely to have elastic supply. This is because modern manufacturers can be quite flexible and can adjust production level at short notice. That means price elasticity of supply of the secondary goods or the manufacturing goods are normally elastic. On the other hand, the supply of goods in the primary sector, such as agricultural goods, gold, other minerals, etc., is likely to be inelastic. This is because the production of such goods is either time consuming or expensive. So to conclude, we can say that price elasticity of supply of the manufacturing goods or secondary goods is elastic, and price elasticity of supply of the primary goods is inelastic. Okay, students, so this is all about our today's lecture. In this lecture, I explained everything about the price elasticity of supply, including the types and shapes of the supply curve, and the factors also explained. So I hope this lecture will help you a lot to understand price elasticity of supply. Thank you very much for joining with me in this lecture and remaining attentive. Thank you once again.